This is Local 3 News at noon.
Good afternoon. We are glad you're watching Local 3 News at noon. I'm Calvin Sneed in for Latrice Curry on this rainy Friday. After heavy rain this morning, we are expecting flash flooding this afternoon in the Tennessee Valley. Here's a look at some of the flooding at one homeowner's yard in Hickson. You can see the water up to the fence there. Some minor flash flooding damage around the area being reported. We will keep monitoring that. Now let's check the roads and highways in the area right now. As you can see here, this is I-75 at I-24. Traffic is slowly getting around that intersection right now, and this is just commonplace in a lot of the intersections that had flooding this morning from all that heavy rain. But the interstates seem to be moving fine. We only have one accident to be noted. It's on 1000 in the 1000 block of 3rd Street. So try to avoid that area, and please drive careful if you are out and about this afternoon. Well, let's get the meteorologist Cedric Haynes. Said the storm alert has been canceled right now. Is that correct?
Yes, Calvin, that's the good news. All the big time thunderstorms that we had this morning, and what a noisy morning it was. The heavy rain is all pushing off towards the south and east. So that's the good news as we head into the afternoon, although we may not be completely done with the rain chances. Let me show you some of the estimated rainfall totals from radar. You can see the areas that saw some of the heaviest rain right up along the Cumberland Plateau, where we had rainfall totals estimated by radar in that 1 to 2 inch range there. That includes places like Whitwell over towards Jasper, and then up towards Altamont and Grundy County, and also western portions of Marion County down towards South Pittsburgh as well. And then we had about a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall from Athens over towards Chattanooga, just a little over an inch estimated by radar. Here in northwest Georgia, about a ½ inch to an inch from Chatsworth over towards Dalton and Lafayette, and back over towards northeast Alabama, about a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall as well. Again, here's the current weather map, and as you can see, most of that rainfall, especially the big time storms and heavy rain, is pushing well to our south and east towards the I-20 corridor. We just have a few light rain showers around now, but the front is still to the north and west, so can't rule out a couple of scattered showers moving back in today, but I don't think we're going to see any storms. And then notice some drier air off to the north that arrives just in time for our Saturday. Right now, temperatures are in the lower 60s out there, so mild despite the rain, and it will stay warm as we go into the afternoon, warming near 70 with a chance of a few spotty showers. We'll talk more about your forecast heading into the weekend and what you can expect for St. Patrick's Day in just a few moments.
All right, you're waiting to hear that. Thank you, Sid. The Georgia district attorney who brought election interference charges against President Donald Trump can stay on the case. The judge in the case ruled only just a few hours ago that Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis's romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade does not create an appearance of impropriety. But as a result, he ruled that one of them has to be taken off the case. The choice will be an easy one. If Willis were to remove herself, the case would come to a halt. But having Wade leave ensures the case continues with minimal delay. The judge also found there to be no actual conflict brought about by the relationship. That finding would have required Willis to be disqualified. More on this story later at 4. The pretrial hearing for a man accused of stabbing a woman to death in 2022 is happening right now at the Hamilton County Courthouse. Here's a live look at the hearing for Jason Chen. It's a continuation from last month. That's when we heard from the victim's family. Jasmine Pace's mother was questioned about her efforts to find her daughter when she went missing in November of 2022. Chattanooga police body camera footage was just released in court, showing the moment her mother made a report to police. Take a look.
Tuesday night is the last time I saw my daughter. Wednesday, it left Fraser Avenue, came right here, and then just no one heard. She's not made any phone calls. I pulled up her phone record. She has not made phone calls since Tuesday night.
Chen is being held under a $5 million bond. Our team is in the courtroom with an update on Local 3 News at 4. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Department is investigating an inmate death at the Hamilton County Jail. The Sheriff's Department says the unidentified inmate was taken into custody yesterday morning for an active burglary warrant. They say he experienced a medical emergency while in a holding cell waiting to be released. He was in the Sheriff's Department's custody for about 14 hours. He was taken to the hospital where he died. The city of Chattanooga says the survey for the proposed Fraser Avenue redesign is still open for opinions. and today is the last day to hear from you. The options being proposed are there on your screen. They're intended to address problems identified in a recent traffic study that was conducted after a deadly car crash last year.
In one plan, parking actually becomes one of the primary barriers to protect people on the sidewalk, which is interesting and actually adds parking to Fraser. The other reduces parking somewhat.
In addition to the multiple choice questions, the survey also has a section to provide feedback. Again, today is the last day to respond. The link to the survey is on our website right now. The Chattanooga Housing Authority has been awarded a $20,000 grant for one project at Emma Wheeler Homes designed to help the residents there. The grant goes to the Butterfly Effect program, focusing on making small changes in residents' lives for a big impact. The CHA wants to focus on enhancing community resilience and preparations in case of a natural disaster. Part of the money also helps the Emma Wheeler House expand its community gardens and offer programs to educate the community about gardens. Group leaders say they're excited to work together and strengthen the community. And coming up on Local 3 News at noon, a warning this afternoon if you use Roku.
If you have a Roku device, listen up. Hackers may have control of your account. I'm Jamie Tucker. Coming up, I'll tell you how to find out and why everyone should check your passwords to see if they're stolen, and I'll show you how.
This is breaking news from Local 3 News.
Thank you much for watching Local 3 News at noon. I'm Paul Shaheen in for Latrice Curry today. We're covering the funeral procession for Meigs County Deputy Robert Leonard. We've been so all day. Last Thursday, remember, after a 16-hour search, Deputy Leonard's body was found in the Tennessee River. Leonard was taking Tabitha Smith to jail when authorities believe he missed the turn and ended up in the water. We have a team covering today's event. Dallas Payton is covering the beginning of the procession route. Grayson Gordon will pick up the procession route at the Decatur Cemetery, and Cornelia Nicholson will give us insight into the woman who was arrested during the incident, Tabitha Smith. We do have that team coverage of the procession and Tabitha Smith this afternoon, as well as Local 3's Dallas Payton is live. He'll kick things off in Meigs County at the Decatur Funeral Home. Dallas, what can you tell us about the services?
Hey, Paul, I'm giving you some details about the funeral procession here. We'll get a map up to show you details of exactly how that'll all work out now. The funeral procession is going to leave the Decatur Funeral Home at about 12:15 and head and merge right immediately on River Road briefly, and then onto Highway 58. From Highway 58, they'll make their way to Z Street and onto Main Street, and Main Street will essentially take them back onto Abel Avenue and into the second entrance on into the Decatur Cemetery. And then Deputy Leonard was driving back to Meigs County Jail with Tabitha Smith, the woman he had in the back of his car when they went missing. Leonard was traveling on Blythe Ferry Road, a road that leads right into the Tennessee River. Leonard was from New York and was only a Meigs County Sheriff's Office deputy for 2 months before the tragic incident on Wednesday night. Leonard was at home when he took a call of an incident of either a man jumping in and out of traffic or a man and a woman fighting. Leonard arrived at the scene about 9:48 p.m. and at 10:15 he indicated that he was taking a person to the county jail. About 12 minutes later, over radio communication, dispatchers said they heard something they could not understand. Analytics later determined that he was saying water. Smith's body was recovered in the car and Leonard's body was recovered hours after.
It's a small town. Everybody, supports each other when something real tragic like this comes out. I really support our deputies. I had a grandson, a deputy for a little while. That could have been him in there.
Yeah. Hey, many agencies across Tennessee Valley and the state came together to recover both Smith and Leonard's body. Now, again, the funeral procession is expected to start at 12:15, and we'll bring you more coverage when that starts. Reporting live in Meigs County for Local 3 News, I'm Dallas Payton.
Dallas, that's in about 13 minutes. We're on standby. In the meantime, we head to Grayson Gordon. She's also live in Meigs County at the Decatur Cemetery. Grayson, several law enforcement agencies have expressed condolences to the Meigs County Sheriff's Office. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Paul, and that's definitely right. You can really see the presence of law enforcement out here right now, all different agencies from around the Tennessee and greater Chattanooga area. And then this beautiful American flag over from the fire department. Now they are all here to lay the Meigs County deputy to rest at the Decatur Cemetery. We're a little bit away from there at that point, but right at the end of that processional route. The Collegedale Police Department says that they are with his family today.
Collegedale stands with Meigs County. It stands with the family and the friends of Deputy Leonard. It stands with the family and friends of the passenger that was in Deputy Leonard's patrol car.
And we are about 10 minutes out for this to begin, and this is going to be the end of the route where there will be a private ceremony over at the Decatur Cemetery, and we will have full coverage from you coming up at 12:30. Reporting live here in Meigs County, Grayson Gordon, Local 3 News.
Grayson, thank you for showing us all of that. Our team coverage continues now with Cornelia Nicholson, who's live at Blythe Ferry Lane. It's the location of the accident where there are also signs of support there. Cornelia.
Paul, a memorial filled with flowers, a cross and a teddy bear lays here in honor of Tabitha Smith, just right here, feet from the water. Now, we did speak with a friend of Tabitha who says she was a free-spirited person. Sherry Waters, a friend of Smith, says that they actually spoke the day of the incident and they exchanged Valentine's Day gifts, but she had no idea that would be the last time she would see her. Now, Waters says to her understanding, Smith did not have a car or a home of her own. She said it had been a month since she had seen her until February 14th.
Maybe that's why she was headed in that direction toward Ray County on the bridge, because that's the only way to get, to the Walmart from this area.
Waters says the night of the incident, she was searching for Smith in the places she knew Smith would typically walk to. Now, she doesn't know what could have led to her arrest, but she was likely on her way to the Walmart in the area. And of course, we're working to learn more about Tabitha Smith and who she was, and we'll bring you those details here on air and online. Live in Meigs County, Cornelia Nicholson, Local 3 News. Paul.
Cornelia, thank you much. We will continue our coverage of Deputy Robert Leonard's funeral procession throughout the rest of the newscast here at noon. And you can watch live coverage of the funeral procession on our website, inside our app, and on our Facebook page. That starts now in about 9 minutes. Meteorologist Cedric Haynes has the first look at our forecast this afternoon. Cedric, I was up early. It was another cold start to the day, but cold temps aren't really there right now, are they?
They are not, but one of the things that we had when we had those cooler temperatures, we had some clouds as well out there this morning, Paul. So we're kind of eroding the clouds, which gives us more sunshine, which in turn will give us warmer temperatures this afternoon. At least that's how we hope things play out. Let's take a look at the weather map. You can see we had a weak disturbance making its way across the Tennessee Valley, and you can see that from this morning, some of the cloud cover here, a couple of sprinkles. Not really expecting much of that to hit the ground, but you can see how small this disturbance is. It's basically centered right over East Tennessee, North Georgia, Northeast Alabama, and Western North Carolina, but that's beginning to shift to the east now. So as it does so, that's going to open the gates to a lot more sunshine, and that's what we're expecting not only for the rest of today, but right on into the next, let's say, 24 to 48 hours at least. And then we've got to start talking about some changes as our next weather maker will approach the area. Right now, the temperatures, again, cool to start, but now beginning to warm up that we're seeing some sunshine out there. So we're now up to 50 degrees in Chattanooga, 48 in Dalton, 46 in Cleveland, 48 degrees in Dayton. We've got 44 in Blue Ridge, 55 in Murphy because you had a little more sunshine earlier today. Now those clouds are about to move in there, but 50 in Scottsboro, 52 degrees currently in Fort Payne. So let's walk you through the rest of your Tuesday afternoon because, yes, it's going to be fairly nice out there. We're going to be looking at the skies continuing to clear out. So we'll see more in the way of sunshine as we progress throughout the afternoon. Those temperatures climbing into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees this afternoon. So it should be a fairly nice day. And then as we go into the evening hours, we'll start to cool things down as we clear the skies out. And that will set us up for the potential of some patchy frost tonight. Coming up in just a few moments, we'll talk more about that cool down heading our way and how long it will stick around. That's in just a few moments, Paul.
All right, thank you, Cedric. And just into the newsroom now, we have the Tennessee Highway Patrol's preliminary crash report of Deputy Robert Leonard's accident. They say Deputy Leonard's vehicle was traveling west on Blythe Ferry Lane while transporting 35-year-old Tabitha Smith to the Meigs County Jail. The report says that his vehicle then traveled into the Tennessee River where the roadway ended and the boat ramp began. Now, this is just the preliminary report. We will get the full report when the investigation is complete. Until then, it is ongoing. Still ahead on Local 3 News at noon.
We all grab our phone to jot down a note, and there are a lot of different ways to do that. But I'm Jamie Tucker. Coming up, I found what may be the best note-taking app. We'll take a look at Good Notes coming up.
And before we get to the break, here's a live look again at the funeral procession for Meigs County Deputy Robert Lenah. The procession is scheduled to start at 12:15 this afternoon, just a few minutes away. Dallas Payton will have details. Stick with us. We have team coverage in Meigs County the rest of the evening.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Trends on Local 3. I'm Latrice Curry. Coming up on today's show, get ready for Tea with Z, a fundraiser presented by the local graduate chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and the Royal Dove Foundation that pays tribute to acclaimed author Zora Neale Hurston. Plus, it's an event for the entire family. The Chattanooga chapter of the Lynx Incorporated is holding their Black Family Wellness Expo and helping families and those with autism. Learn more about the upcoming Autism Walk. Trends on Local 3 starts now.
This is Trends on Local 3.
Okay, get ready to grab your Sunday best for one of the area's popular fundraisers, Tea with Z. I'm joined by Thesla White and Gina Ellis from the Gamma Iota Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Hello and welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Okay, so let's start by talking about, if someone is hearing this for the first time, first of all, I love the little outfits and the hats there. That's great. So if someone is seeing this for the first time and they're looking at you all and they're saying, you know, what is this Tea with Z? And so how would you describe it?
Tea with Z is a wonderful experience where we talk about the culture and arts within the African American community. We focus on our triumphant Zora Neale Hurston, who was a Renaissance woman, who was a poet, an author, a musician, an anthropologist. She was just a student of African American culture.
And of course, I said hats, women, you can wear your hats, you can wear your fascinators,
yes,
as you all have. And so, you know, one of the things is sometimes women wear their gloves as well.
Yes, they do.
So, you know, this is really a time for, like you said, it focuses on culture, on arts. We get to dress up, like you said, whether it's in our hats, our fascinators, and our gloves, and really come out and have this tea and enjoy and fellowship with other women.
Exactly. It gives us a time to slow down and enjoy learning about rich history and rich culture. And dressing up and hats is just something that's really a part of our culture. And Zora Neale Hurston, if you see any picture of her, she always has on a hat.
And one of the things, and we see like some of the pictures we're putting up, you know, that some of the women, they wear their hats, or like you said, they're fascinators, and they come dressed in their Sunday best. This is also not just talking about a social event, but
yes,
it's also an important fundraiser as well. Talk a little bit about that.
So I am the scholarship chairperson for Gamma Iota Zeta Phi Beta chapter here in Chattanooga. And so it's a time where we raise funds for our scholarship. We believe that these young ladies deserve a chance, and one way to do that is to be able to give them a scholarship. So it's our scholarship fundraiser as well.
And one of the things too, it's again talking about when we have these organizations like Zeta Phi Beta and some of the others in the community, it's so important because it's not just about being social and having social events, but it's about service and making an impact and a difference. Talk a little bit about that.
For me, my favorite quote is, "To whom much is given, much is required." And this is just a small way that we as members of Zeta Phi Beta sorority, which one of our principles is scholarship, is a way for us to give back, because we were able to go to school through help, through scholarships, through people who cared enough to share with us. So it's our time to give back as well.
And so now let's tell us a little bit about, for people who may not be familiar with Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Tell us a little bit about who you are, your history, your mission, and your work here in this community. You all both can tell us about that.
Well, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded on Howard University's campus in January 16th, 1920. We focus on scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finer womanhood. And we are a community service organization. And this is one of our main thrusts. And we really like to give back to our community.
And go ahead.
And so not only that, we start early with young ladies with our youth auxiliaries. And so that's one of the focuses that we also have here locally. So we start early. So we always say from girls to pearls. So we start investing in our youth early, which is very important. Our youth is today's future, tomorrow's leaders. And that's what is important to us. So the earlier we focus on our youth, the better outcome we have for our young ladies.
So for anybody who's thinking about, okay, I want to come to Tea with Z, to this event, you know, and tell us just kind of a little bit, remind people kind of how the flow of the day works, you know, entertainment or scholarship presentations, and what happens at the event.
During Tea with Z, we will have a tea or lunch for participants. We really focus on music and arts. We usually try to have someone do a spoken word, someone who will share an excerpt from Zora Neale Hurston. At this tea, we will also be giving a Woman of Zeal Award, which is for a community woman and all that she does for the Chattanooga community. And we will also be recognizing our Zeta of the Year, which is an award that we give to a sorority sister who has gone above and beyond in our community and in our chapter as well.
All right, so you all want to invite women to come out to this event, Tea with Z. How can they do that if they're interested?
Okay.
You can give the address.
Tea with Z will be held on April 13th, 2024. The time is from 2 to 4. It will be held at the Mount Peria Baptist Church in Ringgold, Georgia. Our address is 341 Sparks Street, Ringgold, Georgia, 30736.
Okay. Then again, ladies, thank you all so much. And we know that you all have been doing this for a while in this community, Tea with Z. And we know that it's a popular event for a good cause. So we want to make sure that everyone is aware and knows about it and can come out and have fun, enjoy the day, dress up, and support this worthwhile cause. Gina, Thesla, thank you both so much for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, grab the family and head out to the Black Family Wellness Expo this weekend. More on what all is available and why this is so important for the community. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back. What do we have in our hands here? Because it is time
It must be March.
Let the madness begin. And what's trending?
That's
we are
right.
definitely talking March Madness. Okay. For the second straight year, though, this is great. Okay, Cedric is already over here trying to fill out his bracket.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to take me too long.
You know what? Yes, exactly. See, he says it's not going to take him
That's
too long.
right. I make predictions for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, and we're gonna see how we do.
Yes,
okay,
we
we're
are.
gonna let people
Gonna
know
keep
how we
records,
do with these.
yes.
We're gonna keep records.
That's right.
But this is great because you know what? People around here are excited.
Yes.
Because the Chattanooga women are dancing once again in the NCAA tournament. Whoop whoop.
Okay, I see it.
And this year, the 14th seeded Mocs will take on 3-seeded North Carolina State. Cedric.
Oh, yeah, Latrice. Now, the Wolfpack are coached by former longtime UTC head coach, y'all might remember the name, Wes Moore. That's right. Last year, Chattanooga was a 16th seed, and they were just happy to be there. Now, this year, it's a little different. The team is coming off their second straight SoCon championship, going 16-1 against conference opponents.
Oh, and you know, yeah, this time it's not just about, oh, we made it, we're happy to be here. We're like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
We can win some games here.
Yes.
And let's see how far we can
We've
go.
been here before.
Yes, exactly. So this isn't new. This isn't their first rodeo. So we're all like, yes, let's go, Mocs. All right. Meantime, the Tennessee men also entered the tournament as the 2 seed in the Midwest region. Okay, they had a disappointing weekend.
Well, call them out, Latrice. They did,
number
though.
5 Vols will take on 15-seeded St. Peter's in the round of 64.
Oh, you know St. Peter's, the Peacocks. Now,
Peacocks.
Yes, they are just 2 years removed from their magical Elite 8 run. Now, hopefully, the Tennessee team that won the SEC regular season title show up in Charlotte and not the one that got bounced in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament this past weekend. We all
that
watched
wasn't
it.
even close.
No.
They just didn't really show up. The Volunteers will take on St. Peter's on Thursday at 9:20 p.m.
9:20 p.m.
That's late for us.
Yes, that is late. That is
almost
way past
our
my
bedtime.
Yeah, it is past my bedtime, Latrice. I'm an
Okay,
old
that's
man.
the only thing about this time of year is like staying up. Okay.
That's true.
And also, we want to send a huge congratulations. We have to do this to the talented boys. I'm so proud of them at Chattanooga Preparatory School. This weekend, Chattanooga Prep had the opportunity to change the narrative and play in the Class A championship game.
Now, Latrice, last season, the team made it to the Final Four. 1 year later, guess what? They won. That's right. The last time the Chattanooga area boys basketball team won a state title was in 2007. So we're talking history making right here. Congrats to Chattanooga Prep.
That's so wonderful. And this school just opened in 2018, and they started off like with 6th graders. They're up to 11th graders now.
Wow.
And each year they continue to grow. And so they are doing some amazing and great things at that school. So, and look, they won.
And already have a banner to hang.
Yes,
right there in the
exactly,
gym.
in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
So congratulations to
That's
that
awesome.
staff and those students there. All right, but if they're going to go out and play basketball or do anything outside, they need to grab a jacket.
Yeah, at least a hoodie or sweatshirt. You want to have the sweatpants on today, but you may not need them by the middle of the week. So that's how crazy the weather changes. Freeze warning, rain, it's all in the forecast. We got the ladies coming up.